Boko Haram and ISIS officially teaming up. Congressman Adam Kinzinger joins us. Good evening, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Greta.
Well, I guess 2 weeks ago we didn't think it was going to be a big surprise, and now, you know, the news. So what does this mean? ISIS and Boko Haram teaming up.
Well, look, I don't want to overestimate this and overinflate what this means. You know, Boko Haram has existed. They've been a very brutal terror network, kidnapping girls, murdering people. They're going to continue to do that whether they align themselves under ISIS or not. But what we're seeing here, which is, I think, the bigger frightening picture, is you're seeing an alignment of these different radical groups, whether it's al-Qaeda, whether it's ISIS, Boko Haram, or lesser-known groups in Libya and things like that, that are now beginning to align themselves under one jihadist umbrella and, you know, would have, you know, in essence, the same spiritual leaders and everything else with that. What I've said, and I've been saying this for a while, is when ISIS has momentum, you're going to have easier time recruiting people. You're going to have an easier time bringing other groups under your umbrella. And that's why stopping the momentum of ISIS, killing ISIS members where they exist, and rolling them back from territory they have is so important because, as I've said, everybody's a fan of a certain sports team when they're doing well. When that team's not doing well, it's hard to recruit new fans.
All right. Well, to me, this is like one of our worst nightmares because I think what it does is it grows, it gives them so much empowers both groups so much when they join together. So I think this is just horrible. Is this something though that was inevitable, or could we have prevented this?
Oh, I think we could have prevented this. Again, every group, whether it's Boko Haram, whether it's ISIS, whether it's Al-Qaeda, every group wants to survive and wants to kind of take over the jihadist leadership role. And in the case in the last few years, many of those have been competing for that role. Some cases they fight each other. They put out competing press releases, in essence, against each other. And now what you're seeing is ISIS has taken the mantle of jihadist extremists, the Islamic jihadist group, you know, to be part of. And so now all these groups are falling in line under it. And so you have common leadership and everything else. And this is brutal and, frankly, terrible.
Congressman, what have we been doing about Boko Haram? It's not like a big secret, but the last I noticed that people are holding up signs with a hashtag Bring Back Our Girls. And that was last April, and they still aren't back. But exactly what have we been doing to prevent this, you know, the atrocities and the spreading of Boko Haram in northern Africa?
Well, I'm sure there's some, you know, level of things we can't talk about on different factions, but look, I don't think enough.
Like
I mean,
what?
The reality is this. Well,
use your imagination. What are we doing to fight Boko Haram? And now they've teamed up with ISIS.
Well, there could be some intelligence assets operating and things like that, but I don't think it's enough. I think the president needs to make a declarative statement that if you're an Islamic jihadist, if you're an extremist, if you're a terrorist, it doesn't matter whether you're in Africa, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in the Middle East, wherever you exist, understand that that will either put you in jail if you're in Europe, or it's going to mean the end of your life if you're in one of these other countries. And so now that Boko Haram has joined ISIS, well, guess what? Boko Haram now has the same target on their back that ISIS has in Syria and Iraq. I think it's important for the president to show strong leadership. I'm not going to hold my breath for it. I don't want to take away, you know, the fact that he's doing some things. He is. But we've got to be doing a lot more because this threat is going to continue to grow unless we do that.
Well, it's grown so much that now we've got two of the main ones, the most vicious two groups teaming up and using similar tactics. Even Boko Haram learning media tactics from ISIS, which is just unthinkable. Anyway, Congressman, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Greta. Thanks for having me.
And this is disturbing.